My name is Dani. I am a public accountant, and yes, I sit down for many hours per day. I think two issues. First is accountability of being able to keep consistent on training, being able to know what I was doing, whether or not it was correct. And secondly, because I work a desk job, I sit down for at least 10 hours per day. So being able to have the will to be able to go to training, and after so many hours, sometimes we tend to think that, oh, it's one more thing on my plate, and instead of thinking that it's going to add to our life. I was not comfortable at all around weightlifting equipment, or even like the regular equipment that you just change the pin. For me, it was always very daunting and challenging because first, I was not sure if I would get hurt using those. Secondly, I would look very stupid using those equipment. And third, I would not know whether or not how the progression here. I learned how to overload, like, and just create the progression. But for me, I didn't know those kind of things. I always had a bad understanding of dieting and how nutrition works. So when we had the training with Erin, and she was explaining the macros and how you can feel your body and you can actually eat very healthy and like well, I was basically changing my relationship with food, because I had the misconception of every time you ate too much you were going to gain weight, which is not the case at all. Depends on like consistency, being able to understand what you're eating, and if you're balancing, you're just basically planning ahead when you want to have to treat yourself. Yeah, for sure you can treat yourself, but just be mindful in the other days. One unexpected benefit that I had, and it was I think one of the things that helped me keep the consistency even after the program ended, is the sense of community and people that I met throughout the program. I felt that the coaches overall, they were so welcoming and understanding, and being able to understand where my level is at, whether you're a very experienced person or beginner level like me, they would respect that and understand and adapt the program for you. And at the same time, the people that I met here, I created this very like big connection, and now they became like literally gym buddies that we continue working out together because of this whole thing. It's a whole big community. Everyone support each other. Everyone cheer for each other. My last assessment, I did the pull-up for the negative, and everyone started like clapping, and it was amazing. It's just like this sense of accomplishment and empowerment that you have. So when I started the program, I could not only I could not do a chin-up, I could barely do the negative chin-up, because I basically was too weak even to lift myself to be able to hold the bar, let alone stay for 1 second. So in my first assessment, it was basically me running away from the challenge, and I was 0 seconds. I want to be able to do one pull-up or one chin-up. I can do both now. So now I can do 5 chin-ups. I keep trying now to do some milestones. You cater the program to be able for us to not only do like the exercises as you prescribe, but things that you want to do after the whole program is completed, right? So for myself, I love hiking, and you gave me the tools to be able to hike and perform better. Or if I like calisthenics, and I like seeing those kind of things that they do, and I am able now to adapt my program to be able to achieve those kind of things that I want to do. I would totally recommend the program for any person that really want to be in a community, very welcoming, and being able to learn as you go through this. So for me, I think the unexpected things that I knew that there would be diet, and I knew there would be accountability, but being able to really rely on you guys. I expected a little bit of accountability, but I definitely see that you guys care, and like even after, I still come here because it created this kind of relationship that I really want to continue being able to be part of, right? So I really like being around here, and I would recommend for any person that wants this kind of small push, because for myself, it took me many years to be able to get into this routine, but now that I'm in, like, I don't see myself getting out of it. it definitely changed my life. Without even being here in Canada, my sister, she's starting a whole life change because she saw how much this impacted me, and she was so inspired. And she said, "I want to do the same thing." So she's doing something very similar in Brazil, and she felt very inspired by the whole thing that I went through. Last week I went on a hike. I was always the weakest link on the hike. This time when we went, everyone was feeling tired, so they said, "Let's stop." And I said, "Okay, let's stop." I was not feeling that tired, and everyone was sweating and they looked at me, "You don't look like you're tired." I said, "Oh, I am okay. I'm not that tired." But everyone started looking at the heart rates, and I didn't even have my equipment at the time. So someone measured for me, and it's like everyone was 120, 140, and mine was 15 and 105. Sorry. I was amazed because I was always the person almost out of breath, passing out. And this time, they're like, "You're not even sweating this time. What's going on?" But I definitely attribute this to the workout. And it feels so good. I know that I'm not a competitive person, but it definitely felt an accomplishment. It felt like it just pays off, right? When I was doing the chest press, I remember I started with the dumbbells and it was very light. And then Aaron said, "You can do with the actual bar." And I said, "I think I'm gonna die. I don't think I can do this." And he spotted me, and I was able to do it. And then first week, I barely made it, and he's like, "No, you can do this." And then by week 2, 3, I was already having weights in that. So I started you can see the progression. And for me, I remember thinking I was afraid of dying when I was pushing that, and now I can actually do that with the weights. So it was amazing.